like signs out there.
Perfect. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for joining us on Zoom. If you're not watching this live, you're missing out. So you got lucky and drew the short straw. I get the hostess today, so make sure that you tell Elizabeth that I'm better than her. Today we have Jim Fussell with the Fussell Group and Jim Vogel with Vogel Team. We're going to do a little bit of a script off and kind of go over a few things. We're going to present them with a few basic objections that they get on some of their cold calling and calling to their market. So we'll start off by kind of giving each gentleman a basic objection or just a scenario, and we'll kind of have them feed off of each other and go through that basic conversation. So a major one that after kind of taking a poll with some of the agents around the office, a major one that we get, especially with FSBOs, is houses are selling so fast and the market is hot. I don't need a realtor. So when you call somebody and that conversation starts off that way, how do you lead in from there? We'll start with Jim Fussell.
Yeah. So my response back would be, Mary, the question always with for sale by owners is, the question in the past has been, will the house sell or will it not sell? That's not the question today. The question today is, when your house sells, did you get the most money out of it? For instance, 50% of for sale by owner houses are priced accurately. 25% of for sale by owner houses are priced too high. 25% are priced too low. So how do you know if you got your house priced too low and the buyer comes through, offers you a contract, how do you know whether you're capitalizing on the market or not? And then I go in and I tell a story of XYZ person and tell the story of what I made him and take it from there.
That's perfect. So we'll go ahead and I'll kind of do a little bit of back and forth on yours as well. So we'll kind of play it out like it's an actual phone call on this one. Houses are selling so fast and the market is hot. I don't need a realtor.
No, it's Nick, isn't it? Can I call you Nick?
Yeah, certainly.
Okay. Nick, let me ask you just a couple real quick questions. Tell me, why did you decide to sell this home originally?
Well, I'm kind of breaking out of the seams right now. I see the market. A lot of people are getting pretty good money for their homes in the neighborhood. So I figured it might be time to kind of test the market and see what I can get out of it.
So, but are we 100% committed to the idea that we're busting at the seams and we want to sell?
Not 100%, but okay. I just wanted to see what I can get out of it.
I can completely appreciate that. So you really want to see what you can get out of it, right?
Yes.
Now, how did you establish the list price for your home?
Well, I seen Gary down the street sold his house. Yeah. He said he got a good amount out of it. So I figured I'd kind of base it off of his. We've got the same bedrooms, the same bathrooms.
So, and if you were to move, most people have got an established schedule. When would you like that to happen?
Probably in the next few months. I want to be able to find a home and stuff.
At the height of the market, right?
Yeah.
Sell it for the absolute top dollar, right?
Certainly.
Get the most out of it, right?
Of course.
Great. Okay, so why don't we do this? Let's set a time where I could come out. I could take a quick look at the home. I could tell you realistically what it will sell for in today's market, how long it should take, and naturally what all we're doing to get these homes sold. And then based upon that, we can make a decision on what is the highest amount that we can establish for your home and what is the best financial decision for you. How does that sound to you? Fair enough?
Well, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if I want to pay an agent to do what I think I can do.
Let me ask you a question. Would I be collecting a check when I came out?
No.
Exactly. How about Tuesday at 6?
That sounds great. That was a good one. Great. Great job. Great job.
I do this enough that his script there, what he's doing, that's really good. Is it okay if I ask him a question?
Yeah, sure.
Feel free to feed off each other.
So the biggest obstacle I come up with is the people that get all of the calls from the realtors causing the FSBOs to get that conversation going back and forth. you've got to call them. You got to be the first guy that calls them, because after the 6th or 7th realtor's called and just done some things that shouldn't have been stated, it's tough.
Or they got a text message at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it's tough to pick that up. What are you doing for that person that's not like you're?
Let's role play it.
Okay.
Let's role play it. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. So I'm going to dial ring.
Okay. This is Jim.
Hi, Jim. Jim Vogel with the Vogel team over at Keller Williams. I noticed that your home came off the market today as an expired listing. Tell me.
Let me just cut to the chase. Are you a realtor?
I sure am.
Do you have a buyer?
You know what? As a matter of fact, I very well may.
Good response. Okay. Tell me about your buyer.
Well, see, we have a database. We work with a web platform called Real Geeks. I'm pitching that. I wouldn't tell them that.
Yeah.
We have a web that has right now actively 2,200 customers that are currently looking for homes. Now, that could match a story and a half, a 2-story. I noticed that you are a story and a half.
I want to know about your buyer. I know there's stats out there. I know there's realtors. There's a lot.
Sure.
I want to know about your buyer.
Jim, it sounds like you've gotten a lot of calls today. Is that
They want
what's
me to be
going on?
honest. I'm frustrated. I got a job I'm trying to do. I got a job I'm trying to do.
Feel like you jumped right into the Shark Tank, do you?
I turned this
Yeah.
thing on Zillow this morning.
It's like a
I was
grinder
just
wheel.
Yeah, I was just expecting some people to call. All I've done is answer phone calls, and every one of them has been from a realtor.
You know, there
I had
is
a
one way
single-
that you can make that stop, right?
Tell me.
Okay, all we have to do is simply set an appointment where I can come out. I can take a quick look at the home. I'll tell you realistically what the home will sell for in today's market, how long it should take, and naturally what all we're doing to get these homes sold. And based upon that, Jim, we can make some decisions. How does it sound to you?
I just right now I'm just not ready for that yet. I
get it.
We just put it on the market. I've been seeing houses selling, and you know what? My brother-in-law, I'll be transparent with you. I used my brother-in-law to sell a house last time, and we have tension every time we sit down at the Thanksgiving table. And I'm just, if you want to be honest, I'm just soured on realtors.
You know, I could tell you a lot of stories about that because, you know, when I get those calls, I will tell you that real estate remains. And I've got to tell you, I totally agree with what you're saying. Real estate remains one of the only industries, Jim, the only industries where we select a professional on the basis of something other than merit. My God, can you imagine if we did that with attorneys or doctors, accountants? Holy smokes. Jim, let's do this. I will tell you this. I'm going to send you over in advance my resume. Okay. It's going to include a roster of properties I've recently sold. Okay. That match your home's criteria. And then on the basis of that, we can make some decisions as to whether or not that you'd like to keep our appointment Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Okay. That way, it will also include a list of references. It'll also include some testimonials. That way that you have the ability to feel that your time, because that's really what we're talking about here, right? Is that you're getting those calls. It's taking you away from doing what you ordinarily would do. And not to mention, I got to tell you, the last thing I want to do on a Tuesday is interview or entertain a bunch of realtors, right? I mean, having a conversation over and over and over about the same thing. So let's do this. Let me send all that over to you. We'll etch a Tuesday at 6 appointment. And then you call me back and tell me whether or not you want to keep your appointment. How does that sound to you?
That's fair.
Perfect.
All right, gentlemen.
That's where it's re-recording and re-listening to. So sitting on this side, hearing you, not once did you talk over me, not aggressively. I'm sitting on this side knowing I'm role playing with you and I'm being sold. I want to put my hand on my wallet because you are persuasive.
Thank you. Likewise.
That's persuasive.
Well, see, here's the thing, guys. It's either you were going to sell them on getting together with them, right?
Yeah.
Or they're going to sell you on are not needed, you're not valid, and your industry is not worth it, right? So talk hard.
Can I flip the tables? Can I give another script? And I want your feedback on what I'm doing. Shoot holes
Done.
and shoot holes what I'm doing. I take the so when I call a for sale by owner, we're in a short inventory market. So I present myself as the buyer's agent and I flip the table at the back. So let me do that and then you give me the feedback.
Okay.
So ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
This is Jim Fussell.
Jesus, how many times is it going to be today? Okay, all right,
well,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Did I catch you at a bad time?
Not at all.
Okay. I was here. I got told that there's a house on Grand Street that's available for
Yeah, that's
sale.
fine.
I don't know if I've got the right information. So I don't even know if I got the right information or not. But you do have a house for sale?
Yeah, well, yeah, I do. Did you see it on Zillow?
I don't even know where I found out
Okay.
about the house. Somebody told me about it. I
Okay.
was driving and just thought I'd call.
Mhm.
But I tell you why I'm calling. I'm a realtor, real
Mhm.
estate agent.
Okay.
We've got a group of buyers that's looking for some homes. We got 25. There's about 9 of them that's looking in your area.
Mhm.
This house fits the specifics about what 3 of them are looking for. And I didn't know if you let realtors bring their buyers out to view your house or not. Most people do, but some don't. And we try to be respectful.
It depends on what I have to pay them. I don't even know how much that costs.
Yep. Well, I guess my first question is, can we at least just come look at it, whether you have to pay them or not? Do you allow realtors to come out? Forgive me. I talked to somebody on the phone yesterday afternoon, their brother-in-law offended over realtor. They just hate realtors. So those kind of people, I just kind of shy away from.
I have no problem with somebody wanting to make a living.
Okay.
Sure, come look at it.
Okay. So it is still for sale.
It is.
4-bedroom. Ours need a 4-bedroom. Are all 4 of those bedrooms up on the top level?
3R, 1 is on the main floor.
3 up top, 1 on the main floor. So got it. Well, let me tell you what our process is. I'm going to send this house to our pool of buyers. We ask them to go drive to the house, look at the neighborhood, make sure that they like it. And then we ask them to go back and preview and look over your photos. I'm assuming you got some stuff on Zillow or out there we can look at. We have them look at that. And then if they reach back out to confirm, I'll call and we'll schedule a showing to come out and look at it. All of our buyers are pre-approved. They've all been asset verified. We know them and we've sat down with them for an hour, making sure that they're a true buyer.
Let me stop him for just a second. He just used a terminology in his script that is very, very, very good. What he said, he didn't say pre-approved, he didn't say pre-qualified, he didn't say a buzzword, he said asset verified. Okay. That's huge. That's a huge change in the linguistics and the vernacular that he's using, that he is making the transition from, hey, I'm a realtor, which what the hell is that? Okay. From a consumer standpoint, you're either a salesperson or you're not. But the vernacular is he's transitioning into an expert in his field, a financial planner. He's discussing an asset. That's very, very, very astute. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. You were in full swing.
So
I just had to stop you before I let it escape.
yeah. So then where I'm going to go next is I'm going to say I want to bring somebody out to your house, and we'd like once they hit and tell us, hey, I'm interested in this one, I'll call you back. We'll schedule a showing. Now, if I'm going to come out and parade somebody through your house, I like a little bit of who we are. Have you got an email that I can send you just a 1-page piece about us so when we show up? I can send that to you.
I do. I'll send it to you. Now, you want a piece on the house, or do you want a piece on or what do you?
Yeah, I just want to write down your email address. Then I'm just going to send you something so when we come, you kind of know who we are.
Okay, perfect.
So good. Is it Jim? Somebody told me Jim Vogel at email. Gmail.com.
Jim at vogelteam.com.
Okay, yeah. So we got that. We'll get that, and so I'll go and I'll update our team, and then I'll be back in touch with you. One question I did have is there's 3 agents on our team that handle our buyers. I don't know if you know much about the real estate industry. It is commission based. They don't have a single way in the world to make a living unless they close a house.
Right.
Most people I see, what are you asking for your house?
$350.
$350. Inside that number of $350, do you have a commission for a buyer's agent? Standard industry practice is 3%. I've seen 4. Every now and then I'll see 2.5. Do you have anything in there?
I'm anticipating an offer, and then we're going to get to a net figure. And it's going to be whether or not that it's going to be acceptable or not. Depends on what the offer is.
Well, I got to put something in our database because I'm going to send this house out to our agents just like a MLS listing. We send a database out. So if I brought you charge? If I brought a full price offer of $350, what would the commission? Is 3% fair?
I don't know what is fair. How much is fair?
3% is the industry average.
Okay.
I tell you,
so
we will take 4. If you're feeling real charitable, we will do it on the basis of 4. I like to throw a little
I'm
bit
negotiable. How about 3, 4, 5, 6?
We'll take all of those.
Right.
All that we'll take.
Right. I'm in agreement with that.
Okay, so we'll update that. We'll do that. We'll get that out to you, and then I'll be back.
Now, how are you getting these buyers? If I've already put it on Zillow and I'm getting all kinds of calls. These buyers that you're exposing to, are they not on Zillow?
Some of them are, but like the Dusing family, they just flew in here from Dallas, Texas. They're looking for a $535,000 house. They just don't have, they got their house, $1 million house in South Lake, Texas sold. They don't have time. So they flew in and said, find us a house. They won't even look at a house in Zillow if it's got bad pictures. That's how particular they are. So we're only showing them houses that meet certain criteria, pictures of a certain quality. And so, you know, there's a lot of houses they're just missing.
Right.
But which brings me another question is your stats are fair. You're in a historic real estate market. It used to be that only 10% of FSBOs sold, for sale by owners sold. It's a lot better than that now. 25% of them are selling right now.
Right.
Do you have a brother or sister or uncle that you'll list the house with down the way if it
I don't do
doesn't sell?
business with family.
It makes sense. I don't have this conversation with everybody. It's just we had a house last week that somebody called us out and we listed it, and we actually made them 2 times the dollars that we had in real estate commissions because we got the house sold so high. And I didn't know down the way if you'd let us at least like kind of maybe put our name in the hat to interview if you decide to list it somewhere down the way.
How about we cover that when you come out?
What is there? We'd like to.
I mean, you're going to bring out a buyer. You're going to bring out somebody to look at it, right?
We are. Now, I'll tell you one other thing is I've got a buyer that is asking us to preview homes, meaning they're out of town. They can't see. We come out and do a FaceTime video with them, or we send them a video. Are you around that I could come out and do that and get that to them?
Yeah,
we'll actually put
if you want to preview the house, we can do that. Sure.
What is there a good time that works?
How about Tuesday, 6 o'clock?
Tuesday, 6 o'clock. So we'll do that. So right there, I just want to get in front of this guy. You've given me a couple of buying signals. You've been gracious. You didn't just shut me down. When I get a guy like this, I want to get in his house just as quick as possible and persuade in person.
Absolutely. Build some rapport. Yep.
So my question to you is, I don't go direct to list the house that are for sale by owner. I backdoor it through the buyer. I'm being on, we've sold 3 to 4 for sale by owners to our buyers. So I'm being genuine. We put this out. I'll make everybody available on our team and let them know this for sale by owners out there. And I send 3 or 4 houses out to our team daily. How does that come across when I'm backdooring through the buyer? I'm not going direct to get the listing because 87 other people called them this morning with that script. By the time I get there, they know it, and I just don't have much success.
Right. I think that I think it's good. I think it's good. I think it's a very soft sell. I think you got to be a little bit cautious with being Chris, you're going to know this term, Mr. Bush. Do you remember the term Mr. Bush? Yeah. Mr. Bush was a term, and this is going back. My folks are realtors. Mr. Bush is when you send somebody out to look at a house in the 70s and 80s when the market was really bad. And it was really more of an appeasement to the seller because the seller's looking at you as you're the responsible party as to why the home's not selling, right? So you manufacture a showing. It's a terrible thing because I mean they clean the house, they're trying to put the best foot forward, and we see it today even when a home is overpriced, because I mean, let's face it, there's only one issue in real estate. Okay. I mean, everybody always say, well, it's price, condition, it's location, whatever. It's appropriate exposure to the public. It's price. That's it. There is nothing else to discuss. It's price. Okay. So the bottom line is that the appeasement, when you have a disparity between what the seller wants and what the reality is what it'll sell for, there's the interjection of all different types of things. Hey, well, we'll hold an open house. I'm going to go collect some buyers before I get booted. We're going to do a virtual tour. I'm going to spend some money to see if I can keep you for another week. We're going to do whatever. We got the showing coming up on Friday. And as it turns out, it's a brother's, cousin, sister's roommate that you're going to buy drinks for afterwards, that you're going to show the house, whatever. That's a really despicable thing to do. And I've never done it in my career, but I will tell you that it happens. So The only thing that I would be concerned about, I want to get in there and expose it. Make sure that you've got somebody there, and you do, because you've got 3 of these that have sold, or 2 or whatever. But so just be careful that you're not building the perception as you walk in the door that there's a buyer coming in like right on your coattails.
And we do. And so it's interesting. You used a term back there. You said this is a soft sale. You and I'm sitting here. If I were watching this, I would be asking myself, what's my personality? Because I find in real estate training or sales training of any sorts, everybody tends to say that everybody needs to sell like I do. That's like a lot of training. He's going to be more direct than I am. I'm going to take a softer, more relational approach. We're both going to be extremely aggressive.
Sure.
And go after it.
Absolutely. And you know what? What's interesting is that if you go through this room, you'll have about a 50-50, because if you're on those polls, you'll have 50 that'll be like, go with that guy, it'll be quick, or go with that guy. I was with my mother-in-law and she drove me bananas, whatever it was. Or, a call that I got last week where it was a guy that was crawling up and down the stairs while his daughter had just got her license and had her sign out in the yard. And he called me up and says, "Hey, can you be over here in 15 minutes? She's gone at Panera." Legitimately, sure. And so, but what I'm saying to you is that, that's awesome, because you are by definition building rapport as you go.
And we're designing our whole sales system to be outside the MLS. So I just look right now and there's a lot of things coming.
A lot of money in that.
A lot of stuff coming down the pike that's wanting to get rid of the MLS. So we're trying to train our team to say, let's be out there and let's be scrappy. Let's look for the sale by owner. Let's look for the house we found in Facebook, Craigslist, doesn't matter. Of course, let's get the easy ones. Let's show them the visible, the MLS houses. But we do make sure that when we come in and I present myself as a buyer, we are sending this out. So I take a screenshot of every house that I call that fits a buyer. I'll send it to our buyer's team and say, take Jane Ann to this one, take this person to this one, look at this one.
That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. In particular being because I think that's what, in a market like this, where it is so inventory scarce, you automatically are a professional if you're providing inventory that they ordinarily wouldn't say.
So let's roll off of that. Let's go from another objection that's pretty typical. If I sell my house right now, it would be too difficult to buy one.
Okay.
So you want to kind of roll back and forth on each other on how you would handle that situation or objection? We'll start with Fussell.
You want me to dial?
Yeah.
So you're going to say that, hey, you don't want to sell right now because it's too difficult to buy. Ring, ring.
You want me to?
Yeah, we're just going to have it go between you guys.
Okay. Hello.
Hey, this is Jim.
Hi, Jim. Yeah, it's been a while since we talked.
Yeah, when we talked last time, you'd mentioned that come this spring here, you're thinking about doing something different on the house as COVID hit and you need a 4th bedroom for the office. I was just following up, kind of seeing how you're doing on that.
I would love to, but I think I'm kind of out of the buying picture. The homes are way too expensive right now.
Yeah, but you've got a house, don't you? Wouldn't it be safe to say that if it's too expensive to buy a house, your house is going to sell really high? So it's kind of a moot point. It looks like it's kind of a wash to me. You're going to buy and sell in the same market.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we're going up in price, right? So, I mean, if we're saying that homes are selling for as much as 10% over list or 10% over what I would think that they would be worth, and that's going to be 10 or 15% from 300 to 550.
Also, you're wanting to get like maybe
I want that additional bedroom, so I mean, I'm thinking it's gonna cost me probably about 550 in order to do that.
I don't think it'll cost you that. I mean, is it going to cost you more to go from a 3-bedroom to a 4? Of course it is, but it's hard for me to imagine you're going to have to pay $150,000 for.
Well, I mean, I want it to be nice. If I'm going to move, I want it to be worth the move.
Yeah. What is there? So it's just the just the price point. Anything else that's out there?
I just want more space. I want a bigger house. I mean, I'm stuck in this house. I feel like I'm bumping up and up against everybody in here, and I just want more space.
Well, when I talked to your wife last time, now she said you were a bit afraid to buy. She was afraid to sell your house because you couldn't buy another. It's the double transaction in the same market.
She's a bit
That's
of a
tough.
spender that she would say that it was me.
So
Yeah.
which do you think it is? Do you think it's the fear of the $150,000 spread that's the biggest holdup, or would you say that it's?
I'm afraid of the financials. I'm afraid of that I have to rush out and buy a house and that it's going to automatically be worth 15% less if this market were to pop like it did in 08.
Well, I mean, that makes all the sense to me, but how do you, I don't know anybody that knows completely what the market's going to do. I tell you why, I buy and sell some of my own houses. I've remodeled about 20 for the last 2 years. I sold every darn one of them because I kept saying, gee, the market can't get any higher, can't get any higher. You know what I wish? I wish I have every one of those houses back because I'd have a lot more money in my pocket now. So
yeah.
I don't think we know the market's going to go down tomorrow.
Well, Jim, why don't you do this? Why don't you pull together a list of homes that match what I'm looking for, and here it is. And then you come over and tell me how much my house is worth.
I tell you, I'd like to.
Okay.
This afternoon's a little tight tomorrow, but 4 o'clock tomorrow or about 6 o'clock on Thursday would work.
Sounds good.
I'll
Let's
be
do
there.
that. Let's do that. Okay.
All right.
I want to flip that. I want to flip that real quick.
Okay.
So I want you to be the seller that's concerned about the market.
You bet.
Okay. So ring.
Hey, this is Jim.
Hey, Jim Vogel Team, Keller Williams. It's been a while since we talked. How are
Yeah,
you?
it has, Jim. Glad you called. How you been getting along?
Oh, good. Hey,
I've been hearing about you guys are starving out there. They say there's no houses to sell out there.
No, it's actually, you're right. Market is a little scarce. Jim, the reason for my call is we had talked about 18 months ago that you're contemplating a move, right?
Yeah,
Is that still the case?
It is. My wife complains every day that our house is not big enough. I'm working at home all day long, and she wants me to have some more space, be on the other end of the house.
Perfect. Tell me this, Jim, when would be a good time, because I think you recognize that the market's good right now for a home that's on the market. When would be a good time where I could come out, I could take a quick look at your home, tell you realistically what it would sell for in today's market, how long it should take, and naturally what all we're doing to get these homes sold?
I think I want to start on the other end. I'm worried about what this house is going to cost that we're going to move into. Our house is worth a lot.
Okay. So we're concerned about the price point that we'd have to pay in order to get a new property.
Yeah,
right?
I'm about 5 years away from retirement, and I don't know about you, but I'm just, when I hit that golden age of Social Security, I'm done. I'm just kind of going to be on a fixed income.
Well, you're in a good financial position on this home. So let me ask you this: so is it the price point of the home? Is it what it's going to cost you to buy it? Is it the fact that we're going to retire in a couple of years and then we're going to want to sell that home? Which is it?
It's just overall price. I tell you, I just get the jitters anytime I think about buying something too high. Back in 2007, I bought a house. I bought it about 30 minutes on the other side of the height of the market, and I lost 30,000 on that house when we sold. I'm afraid we're back in that spot.
Okay, so you're afraid that the market's going to crash, right?
I'm just scared when anything gets this overheated. I was an article in the Wall Street Journal yesterday talking about this is worldwide, all this stimulus money and.
Well, Jim, let me ask you a question. When have you effectively lost money in a real estate transaction?
Well, in 2000, I bought one in 2007, told it in 2011, and I paid $234 and got $199 out of it.
Okay, so
now I had to pay a realtor's commission though.
Right. So you paid how much again?
$235.
$235, and you sold it for $199.
$199, yeah.
Right, but you lost money when?
I lost that money when I got the feed from the title company in 2011.
Right, in 2011. And we lost that money because why?
Well, we had the housing bubble.
Well, you sold it, right?
I did.
Okay, so we made the decision on the basis of today's market that we sold it at X price, right? Tell me this: the next home that you—
It's real smart where he's going.
Yeah. So tell me this: with respect to the next home that you purchase, right? Do you intend to move within 4 years like you did in
I don't. I'm gonna stay in that
2007?
one.
Okay, great. So it's going to be your forever home, right?
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter what you pay for it, does it? Within reason, Jim. I'm
Within
teasing you. I'm
reason. That's
teasing
right.
you. I'm
That's
teasing
right.
you.
That's
So,
right.
but the bottom
I
line
thought you
is,
were I thought you were going to say, if you had that home back in 2004, if you had that back now, what would it be worth? Which is what you're saying.
right. But again, the strategy is that a lot of people will delay investing in the stock market. A lot of people will delay making an investment in a rental property. A lot of people will delay for a lot of different reasons. But the bottom line is the most expensive thing in that exchange is the delay. Okay. So as an example, the stock market is currently trading at 33,000 points, right? Everybody kind of think it's going to be there for a while. Anybody? Who can tell me when the last time the stock market traded, and I'm talking about the Dow, right? At 8,200 points. Huh? Uh-huh. When was that? Okay, that was 12 years ago. Do we think that Google is worth that amount of money today, or is it speculation? It's not. So here's the thing. The bottom line is that the only time you ever lose money is if you sell. Warren Buffett will tell you best. You don't buy stock in the speculation business. You buy stock in the ownership business, and you hold. So for an extended period of time. So we're not day traders in real estate. We are home sellers. So how long do you want to own your home? Right?
Where you were going with me is my house I sold for 199 is in Denver. It's worth 350 today. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
Rough.
Yeah, it's worth 350 today.
Picking your time that you're going to move, but at the same time, why'd you move to Kansas City?
Job change.
Okay, job change. How expensive would it be if you hadn't?
Yeah.
There you go. So I mean, it's got to be a 30,000 foot view.
All right, let's go to a next objection that many have been running into. With the spring market kind of coming up and everybody kind of prepping their homes and stuff, a big one that's happening is we may be ready to sell later. I just don't see the benefit in rushing to sell now.
I'll take that one. Okay.
Start off.
Okay, so you want me to, okay,
Role play.
okay. Do you have the objection?
You want to be the realtor?
I'll be the realtor.
You're going to be the
Sure.
realtor? Yeah, I'll be the homeowner. Yep.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, Jim, how are you? Jim
Hey.
Vogel team.
Jim, I'd recognize that voice anytime. Good to hear
Yes,
from you.
sir. Yes, sir. Listen, we were talking a while back that we're going to be putting the home on the market this year. When would we like to do that?
You know, I tell you, my wife and I have been talking about it over the holidays and other things. And I tell you, it's just, we're probably going to hold off a little bit on that. We're thinking probably of doing it. Our daughter's graduating next year and we're going to have her graduation. So we're thinking of holding off for another year.
Okay. So, but let me ask you a question, Jim. So does your daughter's graduation impact your desire to sell this home?
You know, no, it doesn't.
You want to sell. You
Yeah,
want to sell the home at some point, right?
It's that split entry, and every time I have to bring groceries in, the steps hit us in the
I'm with you.
mouth, you know.
I'm with you. So we want more space, right?
We would, and get rid of the stairs.
So when would you like to move?
When would we like to move?
Because I can have you move today. So when would you like to move? When would be best for you?
You know, if you ask me, I'd like to move now. My wife,
Okay.
my daughter's graduation, she feels like it's too much. And then the
Got it.
market,
Got
you
it.
know, the market's
Well,
up and down.
When you're juggling family and you've got
Yeah.
your daughter, you've got your wife, and you've got yourself, you know what? That's three heads. And then with me involved, that's 4 heads. 4 heads are better than 3. Why don't we do this? Let's go ahead and get together. I'll come out. I'll tell you realistically what I think the home should sell for in today's market, how long it should take, and nationally what all we're doing to get these homes sold. And then based upon that, we can make a decision whether it's now or later. Either one of which is fine by me. How does that sound to you?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Why? I don't know. I'm a little it's just a hard decision to make with my wife. I don't offend my wife.
No. And,
you don't know my wife.
honestly,
If I offend my wife,
but Jim, here's the thing. The worst case scenario, the worst thing I could do would be to come out and tell your wife how much money your home is worth now versus what you paid for it when we sold it there, because we made good financial decisions then, right? So worst case scenario is we're going to have really good news when we come out. How does that sound?
And what the good news is, you think the
The
house,
prices that your home will sell for in today's market.
you think they're pretty good, huh?
Yes, I do.
I've been reading about that. A buddy of mine was having a cup of coffee the other day, and his house, they brought $215,000.
Right. But you know what's interesting about that is the only time that you ever really win in a financial engagement is if you take the opportunities immediately when they present themselves, right?
It is. So when did you say be good to
About
talk?
Tuesday at 6.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Reason I gave in there to him is you're really aggressive. You're a high D personality,
Mhm.
but you've got some charm and some graciousness there that makes it a little bit hard to say. You make it a little bit hard to say no to.
Well, with you've heard me do the appointment clincher phrase, I think 6 times now.
Tuesday at 6 o'clock.
Right. When does, I don't mind doing this. Sometime when it's convenient, we can get together. I can take a quick look at the home. I'll tell you realistically what the home should sell for in today's market, how long it should take, and naturally what all we're doing to get these homes sold. That's basically a listing presentation and a description. And then at the end of that, how about Tuesday 6? Fair? Who doesn't want to be unfair? Who wants to be unfair? You know, so it's pretty simple, but at the same token, you're right. The bottom line is that part of me being right to the punch is that prospecting it's an energy business. It's an energy transference. If I'm talking to you, it's a chemical burning of sugars in your brain, right? Okay, as you're thinking things through, it's exhausting. And so what you want to do, right, is to have it be repetitious to the point where there is no thought associated with it. Okay. You have the ability to listen inherently to exactly what that client is saying so that you can steer them in the direction that you want them to go. So selling is a series of questions that results in a predefined destination, right? So your job is not to manipulate. Your job is to bring them to a decision or not, right? And then that way that we can move on down to the next client in the event that it's a not. If it is a yes, let's proceed and go make a deal.
You ever play on fears a little bit right there? So when he says, I want to put off to next year.
Oh, I hate that.
Ever,
oh my God. I hate it whenever it's the fire and brimstone of you know what, tomorrow it's going to be horrible. You know, Chicken Little was right finally. You know, I mean, no. We always want to maximize, because you know what, if Chicken Little is right, that means what you're going to go buy is going to be great at a cheap price, you know? So we're always looking for the upside. It's either that or, because if we spend too much time on the downside, we need to be selling tombstones.
So you're going to just press to get out there, get the house priced. And then what you're doing when you go out there to do that is figure out, hey, are they going to buy or sell or not, or wait a year later?
Well,
either way, you've touched them and you're going to stand.
Well, you establish a time frame. You've established what they want, and then the question is what are you willing to do to get it? You know, so, and I'm talking that from the seller's perspective. You know, you want this, how soon do you want it, and what are you willing to do to get it? And that's the decisions that you're working with.
Perfect. Let's run that back through with you as the agent, Jim. So
You want to press.
Okay, now what was the objection again?
yeah, I'll read it back through that. We may be ready to sell. I just don't see the benefit of rushing to sell right now.
Okay.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, this is Jim. Jim Fussell.
Hey, Jim, how are you?
Real estate team.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. We talked last year, and you and your wife Mary talked about you wanted to sell your house at some point this year, and I was just following back up. I don't know if you've read the news or not.
I have. I would love to. I'd love to. Daughter's graduated from high school. We got a lot going on right now. I don't know if now it would be a beneficial.
Are you going to have a graduation party?
Probably.
What do you think your daughter would feel if you had that house with a pool out back for all of her friends to come over to?
Well, I think it would be great, but at the same time, I don't know how well she's going to be about scrubbing that petri dish of a room she's got. So I don't know. I mean, it's just a lot to do. We got to paint. We got wood rot. We got windows. We got carpet. I mean, this place, Jim, you sold it to me. It was nice when we bought it. It's not in nice shape right now.
No, I know. And that's the reason I was calling. I remember you say you're going to kind of do that stuff with yourself, and
Right.
the real estate market where it is right now. We had sold one last weekend. We had 8 contracts on it, and it sold for $20,000 cash over appraisal. And
Yeah.
the reason I called you is there's a unique thing in the market right now that with what we're going to get out of this house, I can send some contractors that we've got out to you, do all of that stuff, and they'll be funded and paid for, and you won't have to do it yourself. You're in a historic real estate market we have not ever seen.
I won't have to pay
before.
for it myself.
And so,
How does that work?
well, like the wood rot you got, the different things. I came through the other day when we looked last year. I'd say you've got $6,000-7,000 worth of repairs we can do.
Right.
We'll get your house sold in 48 hours. It'll take probably 3 weeks to
You're
get
talking
that
about
done.
billing it to the transaction.
And so we'll just, I've got about 15 contractors I use in our remodel business. They'll come out, they'll do the work, they'll take the money out at closing, and you don't have to worry with it. And it works. And I just want to catch the market. I'm kind of a finance buy and sell guy. And I like in this market, it truly is historic. And for me, I just can't, it's hard to understand when people have homes to sell, why they would miss this opportunity. There's 12,000 realtors in Kansas City. They're chasing 3,000 homes. Every house we're getting for sale, it's got 8 contracts on it, and it's like leaking ice cream when you're a seller in this market. I get excited about it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, let's get together and let's talk about it.
Tuesday at 3 o'clock. All right.
Perfect.
Very good. I'll send them information. We'll get over there.
Okay.
Terrific. So has there been many objections that weren't discussed today that you guys are running into currently?
Just the typical ones, what commission do you charge? That kind of thing, just the typical, I want to sell it for more. I want to sell it for terms that are less attractive. It's all the same objections. It never changes.
Okay, so you want to roll through the I want to sell it for more argument?
Selling it for more is probably not, the commission would be probably the one that you want to go to.
Let's go for that one.
Okay.
So if you want to start off as an agent on this
Sure,
one?
I can.
And I'll be the homeowner.
Okay. Ring.
This is Jim.
Hey, Jim. Jim Vogel Team Keller Williams. We had set a time, and this is usually where it comes up, is in a pre-qualifying script.
Yep.
I have you down for Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Is that time still going to work for you?
It will. Just before you come out, we had some friends of ours. We were having dinner with them the other night, and they sold their house for sale by owner and got 3 offers and got over asking price. And we've been talking a lot about that. I don't want you to just assume in coming out that we're going to hire you as a realtor.
Oh, that's fine. I know, Jim, and I totally appreciate that. So tell me again, just remind me, where are you moving to again?
We're just going to move over we want to be on a golf course.
Gotcha.
We're gonna
Okay, so we want a golf lot. We want a
Yeah.
little bit of a better house to live in, and we're staying in town, right?
We're staying in town.
Okay.
Yep.
How soon do you want that to happen?
How soon do we want what to happen?
The move.
The move. Well, we're gonna do something this summer, whether we use a realtor or whether we do for sale by owner. We're about probably 2 weeks away from having it ready.
Okay. And how much did you tell me on our last call that you would like to sell your home for realistically?
Yeah, I think the house, from what we're seeing, the neighbor just sold one down the street for $350. I think
Okay.
that's the ballpark. Now ours has got a little more square footage, a little more, maybe 360.
Well, I've put together a
365.
comparative market analysis that'll kind of get us to the bottom line on the pricing when I come out, right? And I don't think you're too far off. I mean, living in an area means knowing price pointing and knowing valuation. You just get to know it, and you do hear what homes sell for within the area. So do you have any questions for me before we get together?
Yeah, I think the only thing is that house we've been looking at. We've been to some open houses this weekend, and we looked at one. It was like 500,000, and
Right.
My wife and I's income together is going to be that's the house we want, but we're going to be kind of stretched to get that. So our thinking is if we can sell it for sale by owner, that extra
Sure.
money there, $10,000,
Right.
that's
Right.
to us, that's a lot of money.
Oh
And
yeah. So you're saying that again, that if you could save the real estate commission, you
Yeah.
would do that, right?
So we'd say that real estate commission, then we can apply that
Uh-huh.
to the house and have that, is it PIP something? Something.
PMI maybe?
PMI,
Yeah,
insurance
right,
stuff.
right,
We're
right,
trying
right.
to save that.
Okay, so let me ask you just a real quick question. So we're thinking about selling, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to get together and we're going to identify a price, right? But it's still in the back of our mind that we may want to look at maximizing the absolute most amount of money, as you naturally would, from the sale of this home. Am I right?
We want to max, not just the sales price, the net number we have to
Exactly.
apply
No,
to the
you
next
want,
house.
you want to maximize the return on the investment, right?
Yeah, I think.
Great, I can help you with that. Why don't, when we get together, I'm going to put together what's called a net sheet on the home, and then we can compare and contrast the two. How does that sound to you?
You know, that sounds good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's interesting. You never let me drag you into the commission. You would not let me drag you into the commission.
You never discuss
conversation.
commission over the phone because again, at that point, you're discussing your value and they don't value you, right? So why would you, that'd be like, if you didn't know how the term Ferrari, right? Had no idea what that is. Might as well be plumber tool, right? Are you going to recognize that as a $350,000 automobile? No. Okay. So you don't discuss commission over the phone. Okay. Ever. There's no reason to do that. I've written that down. I put a note in my file. I've put it on my notepad that you're wondering about how much all this costs. I can help you there. Good. We'll get together on Tuesday at 6. And I also, Jim was kind enough to tell me that he's considering selling it himself versus working with a real estate agent. That's a pretty easy one. I mean, because you can go through all different types of scenarios with that. I mean, beginning with how's your insurance?
That script is worth listening to, watching him, because on this side, I was trying to drag him into that commission conversation, and you wouldn't let me go there. I mean, and I could sit here for the next 45 minutes. You're not going to go there. That takes skill, not to bite.
Well, so in a lot of cases,
discipline.
we're talking about scripts, right? And we're discussing objection handlers. Some of the best objection handlers is to not handle the objection at all. It's called deflection, right? Oh, okay. I get it. And if you're ever jammed up, hung up, whatever it is, don't answer. Okay, I wrote that down. Okay, we're wondering about this. Okay, I'll handle that when I get out. Come on. I mean, there's no reason that you have to answer any questions. We're not being interrogated. It's not like here's a cigarette and a bright light,
I'm gonna present a differing opinion there, just because I do it, and I don't know that this is right. I like doing this with Jim because I'm sitting here learning stuff.
Me too.
Let me turn one around, and I'm gonna address the commission thing on the phone as a
Okay.
for sale owner, and I'm gonna throw some
Before
stuff
you
out there.
before you do, like I said, the best thing when it comes to commission dollars, what happens when you do that over the phone, right? Is it's a lot like, okay, as an example, let me put it to you a different way. If you go to Best Buy and you take a picture of one of their price tags, you'll find that you'll have a salesperson on there. It's usually a manager right that instant. If you take a picture on a car lot, you're likely to end up back in your car and headed towards the street with help. Okay. So the key is that the reason that you don't do that over the phone is that, number one, your qualification script is where that comes up. Your qualification script, you want to know who you're dealing with when you come out. You need to have a predefined destination and what hill you're going to have to climb while you're there. That's confidence. And again, you could say when you're out there, but as long as you say it with confidence, I mean, hey, hell yeah, man. Robert. I mean, it's just like Lazy Sal's. Now that's a backwoods gibberish, authentic, And so what I'm saying to you is that as provided that you say that with confidence, you are their best friend. The other thing is that provided that you're asking questions and they are talking, all by itself, you are building rapport. What did you do last night? Was it fun?
All right.
Good. Did you do anything fun at all?
Sat at home.
Really?
Watched
Really?
movies.
How often do you do that?
Once or twice a week.
Really, who do you do that with?
I use my wife.
Really, your wife? You and your wife get along really well, don't you?
Yeah, for the most part,
Right,
until she's
right.
yelling at me about the dishes.
Well, sometimes when you do dishes together, yeah, I bet you guys do that. You guys are like that.
Yeah, you
Yeah, there you go. See, he talks more than I did,
bet.
right? So, and that's and as an energy exchange, it's worthwhile, right? And people come away with that feeling better about that engagement.
Sounds great. Let's run that back through with Jim Fussell as the agent.
Hey,
Okay.
ring, ring.
Hi,
Hey, George, is it George? I was giving your information
Jim,
from
actually,
somebody else.
Jim.
Oh, Jim.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
remember your
Somebody
call,
gave me
yes.
the wrong number.
yes, sir.
I was calling. I've got a house that I was told is yours that we've got some people that kind of interested in buying for one, and I want to talk to them about that. But then if you the other side is if they weren't interested in it, I didn't know if you've got a friend or a relative or somebody you want to list the house with down the way.
I don't. For me, I want to make as much money out of the transaction as possible, and it seems to me that the most expensive person in the equation is a realtor. We may interview agents, but I am absolutely going with the most affordable agent out there.
Makes sense. What I showed, what they told me you're asking 300,000 for your
Mhm.
house. Most people, when they're doing it for sale by owner, they inside the 300,000 number, they put something like 3% in there for a buyer's agent, a commission.
Mhm.
Do you have that in your number? Where
I
for the
do.
buyer's agent? For
Mhm.
that, I
I
got
do.
it. Okay, so you're doing that. So that's going to net you. So you're wanting to net 300,000, 3%. That's nice.
290.
You want that 291,000. That's what you want.
Mhm.
Yep. Are you satisfied at that number?
I obviously I want more. Everybody wants more.
Yeah.
But the key, what I'm reluctant to do would be to pay, in this case, $18,000, for the sale of that home.
If you
Well, Jim, how much commission do you charge?
if somebody were to
I
guarantee,
mean, if you were to come over and list my home and put your sign up and put a lockbox on, how much do you charge?
well, I tell you what, if somebody were to guarantee you 200, you're 291 at 3% of the real estate. If somebody would guarantee you 292.5 out of it, I mean, guarantee you that net in the feed from the title company, would that appeal? Like,
So are you saying I need to raise my price?
I don't know that I'm saying that. I'm just saying you want 291.
Well, how are you going to?
If somebody guaranteed you 292.5, would that be if I got you 1,500 more than what your net number is would that be
paying you a real estate commission? What do you charge?
Well, I guess my first
What do you
question
charge?
is,
I just don't understand.
is
What
the
do you charge?
291 a real number?
Well, that's what we've put together on our list. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we need.
I tell you what,
in order to buy.
So I tell you why I'm asking
Mhm.
is your house will trade there. It'll trade above there.
Mhm.
I'm a realtor. We
Mhm.
listed some houses this weekend and we had 8 of them. 3 top offers went over asking.
Mhm.
I'm confident enough in what your house will sell for that I'll guarantee you your net number out of that house and I'll write it in the contract. And if it doesn't bring that, I'll eat it on my side. It's my way of putting skin in the game.
Okay, so what you're saying is if it doesn't sell for that, then you're going to reduce your commission to what?
If it didn't work, I tell you what I'm really telling you is I've got a 27-step marketing strategy.
Mhm.
We don't fail. And
Mhm.
this opportunity of committing to you in that number is my way of telling you, putting skin in the game and tell you, we're going to get your house.
I like
sold.
guarantees. I really do. I mean, if they come to pass, absolutely.
Oh, we've sold a couple of hundred of these, and I've yet to have one where I lose any dollars and cents. And I tell you what, there's a lot of details here. I don't want anything to get lost in translation. Are you okay if I drop by Tuesday afternoon around 3:00 and we sit down at least have?
I'm interested. I'm interested to see the guarantee.
What we'll do is I'm gonna bring a napkin with me and I'm gonna bring a pencil. We'll sit down on the napkin and we'll kind of draw it out.
Sounds good to me.
So that's for sale by owners, which I call all day long. I have to deal with that question sometimes.
Mhm.
If That's my approach for the right house. I do not take that approach on the house that I look and go, for crying out loud, he's got that thing $40,000 too high.
Mhm.
That's for the house that I go, he's got that one about right. I guarantee you I can get him his numbers out of there.
You know, in a lot of cases, if somebody does ask you the question, what do you charge? That's a buying signal. I mean, that's no different than walking into that same Best Buy and saying, how much is that stereo? Because the only reason I'm asking is if it's within my budget, if it's in what I want to pay, if it's according to Consumer Reports, if I'm a C-type personality, or if it's within what I have to explain to my wife, you know, then I'll buy it, right?
Yeah.
So commission, when they ask commission, it should automatically, in a lot of cases, when somebody's giving you an objection, you need to kind of sit there kind of like a, I don't know, like one of my kids with a Snickers bar. You know, you know, I can't wait. Give me something that I haven't heard before. You know, I know that one. And, you know, you can't wait, because what will happen is it comes through over the phone as something that, hey, you're excited about it. Oh, perfect. Okay, so you got some questions about commission. I love handling questions about commissions. I'll see you Tuesday at 6.
That's a really big sales statement there. When somebody brings you the elephant in the room, do you stutter or do you say, I'm so glad you asked? That's flipping the table. We call
Right.
it sales, flip the table upside
Right.
down.
And at the same time, it also, you can add on there a Benny. You know, somehow I knew that you were going to ask me about commission because you are one of those astute people that ask the right question. So that is the right question. How about I handle that when I see you at Tuesday at 6 o'clock? Again, deflection. And at the same time, complimented deflection. You're so smart. I'm not answering.
Excellent, gentlemen. Well, it's about reached our time. I think we'll go ahead and end the script off. I appreciate you guys. Everybody
That's good.
kind of give a good job to Jim Fussell and Jim Vogel. Appreciate you guys coming over and talking to each other for me.
If Jim called me, I'd let him sell my house. You're
Me too.
pretty persuasive. You're persuasive. Yeah.
Likewise.
That's good.
All right.
All right. Perfect.
Everybody have a great day.